What if I told you the biggest changes in your life, the ones you keep saying you want, like more confidence, better habits, stronger leadership, more discipline, better health, whatever, aren't hiding behind some massive overhaul or life-changing moment? What if the real transformation is happening in the tiny decisions you barely even notice? Look, here's the truth. Your life is being built by your micro habits, tiny actions, small choices, invisible wins, and they're either pulling you forward or quietly pulling you under. Today, we're breaking down why the smallest habits are the ones that actually determine who you become and how to use them to grow faster than you ever thought possible. This is Built to Grow, and I'm your host, Valdet Selimaj. So let's get into it. So first, let's just talk about why do micro habits even matter? Well, micro habits are tiny, almost effortless actions that slowly reshape who you are. And these could be things like, for example, drinking 1 cup of water after you wake up, or reading 2 pages before bed. It could be writing down one intention every morning. It could even be taking a 60-second pause before reacting to something. They're not dramatic. They're not impressive on Instagram. They're not even story worthy. But what they do is compound. And compounding is the secret to growth. Think about it for a second. Nobody becomes a great communicator overnight. No one becomes emotionally intelligent after one workshop. No leader becomes decisive after one moment of clarity. It's the small repetitions that build the skill. And micro habits work because what they do is they bypass the brain's resistance. Your mind doesn't fight a small step. Nope. Your brain likes to fight the big ones. Things like, I'm going to the gym every morning or every day. What? I'm going to meditate for 30 minutes. Who? I'm starting a massive new morning routine. Yeah, I don't think so. It's too much. But a micro habit, that's different because then your brain goes, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, I get that. And because it's easy, you actually do it every day. And that creates momentum. And momentum is everything. That's what we want. We want to create momentum. So let's talk a little bit about why those small changes stick. So specifically, we need to talk about the psychology behind why micro habits actually work. First and foremost, a micro habit, anything that is low resistance, means there's high consistency. So as humans, we resist change that feels disruptive to our patterns in our lives. But micro habits are so small that they actually slide right under your brain's defense system. So you never get the, I don't want to do this feeling because it's too small. What they also do, micro habits, they also are identity shaping. So when you read 2 pages a day, you begin to see yourself as, hey, I'm someone who reads. I'm a reader. When you take a 60-second pause before reacting, you start saying to yourself, I am someone who manages my emotions. It's an identity. So really, your identity is shaped by repetition, not intensity. What they also do, micro habits tend to reward our brains very quickly. A micro habit gives you a small win. And when we have a small win, that releases dopamine. And dopamine encourages repetition of the same behavior. It's positive reinforcement. And so repetition becomes a pattern, and then patterns become a lifestyle. And number 4, this is something that happens with people a lot. People are always seeking how to build confidence. Micro habits build confidence because nothing builds confidence like keeping promises to yourself. And the smaller the promise, the more likely you are to keep it. And then once you trust yourself with small promises, you're going to start trusting yourself with bigger promises. Now let's look at some examples of micro habits that change everything. So, because I like to get practical, and I want to give you some actual things you can do to start leaving here today. So here's some micro habits that have just a really massive, positive, long-term impact on your life. Micro habit number 1, the 1-minute reset. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, just take 60 seconds to breathe, reset, refocus. This micro habit trains your nervous system to choose regulation over reaction. Okay, micro habit number 2, the 1% rule. Now, I'm not talking about eat the rich, the other 1%. In this one, improve something, literally anything, by 1% each day. It could be one conversation. It could be one decision. It could be one behavior. Pick one thing. Just make it 1% better. Micro habit number 3, it's 2 pages a day. This creates lifelong learning without burning out. So 2 pages compounds into dozens of books a year. So just 2 pages. Then there's micro habit number 4, the morning winning question. So when you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth, whatever it is, ask yourself, what is one small thing that I can do today that moves me forward? Not 10 things, not your whole to-do list, your must-do list, just one thing that you can do differently. And then micro habit number 5 is the 30-second tidy up rule. I like this one a lot. Before you leave any room, fix one small thing. You could put something away. You can wipe down something. You can organize something, but fix one small thing. Your environment shapes your focus. So take care of your environment. But each one of these are tiny. And each one of these also builds identity. And they all compound. Every single one of them compounds. So we have to talk about the compound effect to understand how this works. Small habits work the same way that interest works in a bank account. I'm not an accounting person. We're not going to go into accounting here, but small habits are like interest that accrue over in a bank account. You don't notice it in the beginning, but over time, the curve starts to change dramatically, and you start to really see that interest. But here's the problem with us right now: people underestimate the power of small habits because they don't give us those immediate results. We want a quick fix. Like if you read 2 pages tonight, nothing's going to happen. If you walk for 10 minutes, nothing changes. If you write one sentence of your book today, it doesn't feel meaningful. But let's change the context of that too. What if you did it for 365 days? Now you're looking at, that's 730 pages read. That is 60 hours of walking. And there's a full book written, one sentence at a time. So the compound effect rewards those that are patient, consistent, and strategic. Micro habits aren't slow, my friends. They're exponential. So how do you build micro habits that last? That's what we need to talk about next. So here's how you can implement micro habits in your life starting today. Literally right now, you have no choice, or you have nothing holding you back. So these 5 steps. Step 1, choose one area of your life to improve. One, it could be your health. It could be leadership skills. It could be communication. It could be emotional intelligence. Just pick one thing. Then step 2, we break it down to the smallest possible action. So break it down as small as you can. And if it feels too easy, good, because that means it's just right. So then you take that and you anchor it. Step 3, you anchor it to something that you already do. So after I brush my teeth, I will put away my phone for an hour. After I sit at my desk, I will clean out my email. After I pour my coffee, I will call this person. Anchoring a new behavior to something current makes that habit automatic. You associate them with each other. So it gives you a catalyst to perform the new behavior. Then step 4, you have to celebrate the win. You have to give your brain that small hit of good job. This positively reinforces that behavior so that you know to continue doing it. And step 5, be consistent, not perfect. Look, consistency is the point here. Consistency is what builds your identity. Identity builds your behavior, and your behavior builds your future. Look, micro habits aren't sexy. They're not trendy. They're not cool. They're not dramatic. But you know what they are? They're powerful. They are sustainable. They can be life-changing. They are life-changing. So look, if you want to grow, not just today, not just this week, but for the rest of your life, my friend, start small. Small habits create big results. And big results create new identities. And the thing about new identities, they create new futures, new doors, new opportunities open up. Look, you were built to grow, one tiny action at a time. So I'd love to hear from you. What will you focus on? Let me know. My friends, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who's trying to make real change, but thinks they have to do it all at once. Until next time, I'm Valdet, and this is Built to Grow.